Here's something wild. Apple, the world's richest company sitting on nearly $200 billion in cash reserves, can't actually buy enough computer memory for its new devices. Not because it's poor, not because it doesn't know how to negotiate, but because we've hit a memory crisis so severe that even the biggest player on Earth is being rationed like a wartime economy. Right now, memory, the GPU memory that makes your phone run apps, your laptop multitask, your servers handle millions of requests, is rarer than premium gasoline. And that's changing everything about how tech companies design devices, what you'll pay for them, and which products actually make it to store shelves this year. We are talking about RAM, the ultra-fast storage that every single piece of tech needs to actually work. Without it, your phone's just a brick, and there's not enough of it. Prices have skyrocketed to record levels. Supply chains are completely fractured, and Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, all the titans that run the world, are literally competing for leftover scraps. This isn't some niche tech shortage hiding in trade journals. This is the memory crisis that's about to reshape the entire industry and hit your wallet. Here's what the headlines aren't telling you. It's already changing the devices you'll be able to buy. How did we get here? The story starts with artificial intelligence exploding. Over the last 3 years, every major tech company went all in on AI. Nvidia, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, they're all building massive data centers stuffed with tens of thousands of servers, each one hungry for as much memory as possible. It's like suddenly everyone decided to build Olympic swimming pools, and they all turned on their taps at the same time. The memory manufacturers, Samsung, SK Hynix, Micron, they couldn't scale fast enough. They're building new fabs, new factories, but these take years to complete. Meanwhile, the demand just kept climbing. AI models need colossal amounts of memory to even train. Then the gaming industry exploded too. Crypto mining boomed in 2024. Apple launched new products with more memory demands. Every smartphone, every laptop, every server now needs more memory than before. The manufacturers are producing record amounts, but it's still not enough. And here's the kicker, the memory business is incredibly complicated. Different types of memory, D.R.A.M, NVMe, HBM, they are all in short supply. It's not like you can just swap one for another. You need the right type for the right job. So even though memory makers are working overtime, there's this mismatch between what's being produced and what's actually needed. Why is memory so critical? Think of it like your brain's working memory. If your brain is the processor, the part that thinks and decides, then memory is the whiteboard you use while solving a problem. The bigger your whiteboard, the more you can juggle at once. Without it, you're stuck writing and erasing constantly, slowing everything down. Computer memory works the same way. When you open Spotify, memory loads the app code and your playlist. When you're rendering video in Adobe, memory holds all those pixels in a temporary state so the processor can manipulate them at lightning speed. The more memory, the faster everything feels. Now here's where it gets complicated. There are different types of memory for different jobs. D.R.A.M is super fast, but costs more and uses more power, so your phone and laptop rely on it. HBM is even faster. It's specially designed for artificial intelligence tasks, and it's even more expensive. Your data center needs HBM to train AI models efficiently. NVMe is slower but stores more for long-term use. The problem is that all three types are in short supply simultaneously. Think of it like a traffic jam on every single highway at once. It's not just the main road, every alternate route is clogged too. And the manufacturers can't just pivot overnight. So what's actually happening to Apple and other companies? Apple needs tons of memory for the new iPhone 16 series and the latest MacBook Pros. They've got pre-orders stacking up, but they can't get enough HBM for their AI features or fast D.R.A.M for their base models. Nvidia's in the same boat. They're trying to ship new data center cards with HBM, but they are allocation limited. Microsoft's Azure data centers are facing memory rationing from their suppliers. Amazon's having to negotiate harder with Samsung just to secure enough for new instances. Even Samsung itself, one of the manufacturers, needs massive amounts of memory for its own servers and devices. So you've got the suppliers rationing their own production to their preferred customers. It's like a grocery store owner rationing food to different shoppers. Big customers get first pick. Everyone else waits or pays more. For consumers, this means devices are either delayed, harder to find, or bundled with less memory than before. Some manufacturers are dropping from 16 gigabytes down to 8 on laptops to stretch their supply. Apple's had to increase prices on MacBook configurations with higher memory. And wait times. Some custom configurations are now 4 to 6 weeks instead of the usual 1 to 2. This isn't the first time tech's faced a supply crunch, but it's uniquely brutal. Back in 2021 and 2022, we had the global chip shortage. That was mainly about manufacturing capacity and COVID factory lockdowns disrupting production. Companies couldn't produce enough chips, full stop. But eventually, factories reopened, production ramped up, and it passed in about 2 years. The memory crisis is structurally different. It's not that Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron can't make memory. They're making record amounts right now. The problem is that demand has completely outpaced even their absolute maximum production capacity. We've hit a ceiling they physically can't break through without building brand new factories. That takes 3 to 4 years. The graphics card shortage of 2021 was similar in some ways. Everyone wanted GPUs for mining and gaming, but that was driven by a fad that eventually cooled. Memory demand won't cool. Every smartphone maker needs it. Every data center needs it. Every AI company needs it more than they need anything else. And here's the comparison that matters. In previous shortages, smaller companies got squeezed and delayed. But Apple and Microsoft could weather it with cash reserves and supplier clout. Not now. Even having $200 billion doesn't let you buy something that doesn't exist. So what does this mean for you right now? First, if you're thinking about upgrading to a new laptop or phone, expect longer waits and significantly higher prices. That MacBook Pro with 32 gigabytes you wanted, it'll cost more and take weeks or months longer to arrive. Second, it's filtering down into device design choices. Companies are going to be more conservative with memory specs because they literally can't source premium amounts. Your next phone might come with 8 gigabytes instead of 12. Your next laptop might have the same GPU performance as last year's model because they can't upgrade it as planned. Third, it's completely changing how AI companies operate. AI training requires colossal amounts of memory. Companies building custom chips like Nvidia's new accelerators are prioritizing memory over raw processing power because memory is the absolute bottleneck. Fourth, this is forcing companies to invest heavily in new memory technologies that don't depend on these same manufacturers. Companies like Intel are scrambling to build alternatives. And fifth, this is hitting emerging markets hardest. If you're in a country where tech costs already stretch budgets, this shortage is pricing people out of upgrading. Billions globally feel this impact. What should you actually do about this? Here are 3 concrete moves. First, if you absolutely need new gear, don't wait. I know the prices are high right now, but they're going higher. Every month, prices are climbing because scarcity is deepening. Your choice is simple. Buy now or wait until late 2027 when new semiconductor factories come online. There's no middle ground. Second, if you're configuring a new laptop or phone, resist the temptation to max out the memory. Base configurations will have much longer wait times because manufacturers are stretching those cheaper shipments first. A 16 gigabyte laptop today is infinitely better than a 32 gigabyte one that arrives 3 months late. You actually have it. You can add more memory later if you really need it. Most laptops still have upgrade slots open. Third, pay close attention to the fine print on pre-orders and spec sheets. Many companies are quietly downgrading memory without announcing it. An iPhone 16 might ship with less memory than last year's model. Check the specs carefully before clicking buy, and if memory specs have dropped, don't assume they'll come back up. This is the new reality for the next 18 to 24 months. Subscribe to stay updated on how this situation unfolds. Here's what this all comes down to. Memory is the invisible backbone of modern technology. When it's scarce, everything breaks, prices spike, supply chains fracture, and even the world's richest companies get squeezed. Apple being unable to source enough memory isn't just a problem for Apple. It's a sign that we've hit a physical scaling limit in silicon manufacturing. The entire tech industry is bumping up against the constraints of our current factories and technologies. This shortage will likely persist for the next 18 to 24 months. New factories being built now won't come online until late 2027. That means higher prices and constrained supplies are our reality for the foreseeable future. But here's the opportunity. This crisis is pushing major chip makers to innovate. New memory architectures, new manufacturing techniques, new players entering the market. All of this happens because the old system broke. In 2 years, we'll look back at 2026 as the turning point, the moment the industry was forced to evolve beyond what Samsung and Hynix have been doing for decades. For you right now, the lesson is simple: buy when you can, understand that prices are staying high, and don't expect relief until 2027 arrives. If you want to stay ahead of tech stories like this, follow us for daily AI and tech headlines. Hit subscribe.